I never knew my grandfather. Edwin Vaughan died when my mother was 2 years old, so we have no memories of him. But we do have his diary, the notes he kept of his time on the Western Front in 1917, beginning with the day he set off for war, aged just 19.
It was an incredible moment, long dreamed of, when we steamed slowly out of Waterloo. I was actually on my way to France, to war and excitement, to death or glory, or both.
I've been retracing his steps, visiting the site of my grandfather's war, from the bad times and, surprisingly, the not so bad. Now, when he was given time out of the trenches, he came to this cafe, which was just a few miles behind the line. And like a lot of 19-year-old men, he was coming here to have a drink and try and chat up girls.
We found a table in the glass-roofed garden. A sweet little 16-year-old girl came to serve us. I fell victim at once to her long red hair and flashing smile. When I asked her name, she replied, "Ginger," in such a glib way that we both burst out laughing. Over cigars and liqueurs, I offered her my heart, which she gravely accepted.
But those moments were brief. Edwin was about to be part of a murderous battle which would become known as Passchendaele. During one lull in the fighting, he heard around him a terrible sound in the darkness.
Faint, long, sobbing moans of agony and despairing shrieks. It was all too obvious that dozens of men with serious wounds must have crawled for safety into the new shell holes. And then the water began to rise, and, powerless to move, they started slowly drowning. And there was nothing we could do.
It's peaceful here, quite unremarkable even. Nothing really to tell you that this was a battlefield once, but somewhere very near here my grandfather listened to those men drowning. How many thousands died in these fields? As the shelling continued, he walked down this road to report to HQ. It was in a captured German blockhouse, which is still there. It is quite moving to picture my grandfather coming here and going in through this door to report to his commanding officer. Of the 90 men in his unit, just 15 had survived. I'm quite sure that after that day, he was never the same again.
So this was the end of D Company. Feeling sick and lonely, I returned to my tent to fill out my casualty reports. But instead, I sat on the floor and drank whiskey after whiskey as I gazed into a black and empty future.
The diary ends there. It seems he couldn't write any more. Edwin would survive the war, unwounded officially. But when I look at this picture taken in 1918, I see the face of a young man who has seen and suffered too much.